Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Podcasting Mastered. I'm Chelsea, and I'm here with Wade as always. And on this week's episode, I think we're both really excited to talk about this game. We just recently finished it. Oh my gosh.
We just finished it, yeah.
Yes. We're talking about actually a very new game called Split Fiction. It's by the creators of It Takes Two.
Mm-hmm. And longtime listeners would know that we also covered that game once upon a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a good time. But I think we enjoyed this one a lot more. But partially also because, we know each other a lot better by now.
Yes. And I think in general, too, also the story with the game and the theming, I think, definitely added to our enjoyment.
And such a good theme it was.
Mm-hmm. I guess we can just kind of briefly go over the story before we talk about some of our absolute favorite moments from this game.
Oh, yeah.
So we're introduced to our two main characters, Mio and Zoe, and they get invited to this big publishing company to try out their new special machine and will help them get published. You know, nothing sketchy about this whatsoever. A big company wants you to come in with your ideas, and they're like, hey, we're going to put you in a simulation machine, and that way you can just go through your story ideas. That's all it's going to do.
Bring your story ideas to life.
Yeah.
This is the next step in books. Okay, virtual reality. Nothing bad's going to happen.
Nothing ever goes wrong.
We promise.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Yes. At the very beginning, Mio gets a little sketched out about it. And she's like...
Oh, she's real anxious. She's weirded out. She's because they get there, and they're like, yeah, so you remember the process, right? Okay, everybody on your platforms. And
get into a bubble, basically.
Yeah. So the second that she starts to show, the least bit of, resistance, they, grab her. They're like, no, you're going.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god, what?
Yeah. And then she fights with them, and she ends up going into somebody else's simulation that's already begun.
Yeah.
So she gets
they're
stuck
in
in
these
a bubble.
little bubble things, and she stumbles into Zoe's bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And the dangerous part is that it's a consciousness thing. They're having to weirdly share consciousness with each other. I love the introduction because it goes into it, and Zoe is in her. So Zoe is a fantasy author, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mio is a sci-fi author. Very strictly so.
Yep.
They don't have anything to do with the other. Yeah. So Zoe's in her little hobbit hut and her cute little witchy garments, and she's summoned a ball of fire. She's like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then
Mio
gets in there,
and she's like,
and she's like, oh my god, magic, you're a witch. Burn her. Yeah. And Zoe's just like, dog, what are you doing here? That's weird. I don't even know you. Get out.
It's just so funny. So that's kind of their premise, and it sets up where they just have to, they don't get along, and they have to kind of figure out how to work together and also deal with plot twist. This company's evil they're with, and they can hear stuff that's going on with them, and this magical machine is to steal all these ideas, and so that they can create ideas as a company in the future without, creatives in the process.
And it's bizarre to me. This whole premise is that this whole premise is so we're actually going to just steal all your ideas out of your head, and then we'll publish them all as our own. And it's okay, but these 6 people aren't going to raise a stink out of it when they realize, oh my god, that's my book, that's my thing, and they're really going to get more people.
Yeah.
They're going to get more people to come in and be like, yeah, that totally didn't happen. I don't believe those crazy people. Continue to, molest my mind. You can take my stuff, too. It's fine. That didn't seem like it was going to go on for forever.
No, but they were at least going to try. And try is what they tried to do, but...
Well, that is true.
Not without our protagonist getting in the way. But,
those dang kids.
Exactly. But it was fun to play, and I kind of feel our characters kind of suited each other. We both immediately latched onto one of the characters.
We really did. There was no conversation about I'll take this person if you take this person.
Yes.
In It Takes Two, we just I chose the boy and Chelsea chose the girl. It was pretty straightforward. But this time, we just kind of grabbed at it at the same time, and I took Zoe, Chelsea took Mio, and that was. It's funny how weird it worked out.
Yes. It was perfect. Oh my gosh. But it was also just fun because we were each of these characters and we were first like thrust into like Zoe's world. We end up like, as you go through the game, you go through like the different levels and you can do like side quests or continue on the main story, and you kind of bounce back and forth between like the sci-fi and the fantasy realms and with like different stories in each one.
Yeah.
And there's so much variety in these. I almost wish there was like multiple games made of some of these levels. Like, I want to see more of these.
You wanted
worlds.
like a longer version of like this world or this world?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in this game where it's all about like teamwork, and it's a well, I can't even say it's a platformer because it's
partially, yeah.
It's mostly a platformer, but it has bits and pieces of like everything in it. Like the first handful of levels, we would like, get through this last segment and go on to the next one. And it's like, well, this segment is just like the minecart levels of Donkey Kong. And I'd be like, oh my god, I love Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like game reference after game reference and like style and stuff. It was consistent and it was hilarious. And I loved every minute of it.
Yes. I know this one was a little bit also more different from It Takes Two, because since it was kind of these different like fantasy sci-fi realms, like it really played up into some of those like nods to a lot of video games. So we got to see more of those and different mechanics, even more so from It Takes Two. And like, I don't know how, like, I'm kind of speechless about this game because I think it does so many unique things and unique ways to like work together as a team and like the co-op experience. Like, I thought It Takes Two was impressive, but like this one takes it to a whole nother level.
We didn't know anything yet.
No.
Like, yeah, we finished It Takes Two. We're like, oh my god, that was like, how has a game like this not existed? This is crazy. And then they looked at the new game and they said, okay, well, we can do better.
Yeah.
And they did. Like, even more so. I don't even think there was any complaints we had about It Takes Two.
No.
It was just like more of that, like on crack. It was a lot.
Yeah. And because this is a co-op experience, it is a game where you truly have to rely on the other person to get through it. Like, you can't have one person carrying the team. And that does make it challenging because there are definitely times where Wade was like, hey, you okay over there? I'm like, yeah, I know. I died like 20 times.
You just kind of like keep jumping into the pit. Just
Yeah.
keep on jumping into that pit. Maybe you'll get it next time.
Yeah. But hey, there were so many moments though where we were like so in sync. We weren't even talking while we were playing. We just like knew what to do.
We just knew it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is that like you don't see your screen. It's a split screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody sees the same split screen. So you can see what the other person is doing and seeing and everything at the same time, which is a necessity so many times throughout the game.
Yes.
Like, how many times where you had your mechanic, but you had to watch my screen to figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the timing and stuff like that is crazy.
Yeah.
And then the final level, like that whole final segment took all of that and just like exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's so cool. Like you have our two characters, but like Mio exists in her sci-fi world. And Zoe is separate in her fantasy world. So when we're each looking out into the distance, we see like sci-fi and fantasy, whatever the setting is, but we're looking at the same thing, just with a different coat of paint.
Mm-hmm.
But there were different things that I could see on my screen that Chelsea couldn't see, that when I like interacted with it, it would affect her world. It was just the craziest, coolest thing.
Yes. Ever. Oh my gosh. And we're not going to, spend all day going through every single little detail, but I definitely think there were some major highlights in this game of certain levels, certain things we were able to do. I know that we both enjoyed the pigs.
Oh my gosh,
the
little side story where it's so every single main level and side story, they're like stories that the two of them have written at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And they come from different times of their life, of course, and stuff like that. But the first side story we come across is one of Zoe's, where she wrote a little story when she was little about, like, hot dogs.
Yeah.
And where hot dogs come from.
Mm-hmm. From the grocery store, right?
Yeah, totally, from a grocery store.
Yeah.
So, like, we begin the level, and we're just two magical talking pigs. I can't remember what I could do. What could I do? I could bounce, maybe?
Yeah, you could bounce, and I could kind of, I was, like,
fly super
via
bouncy.
Farts. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chelsea could fly with rainbow farts.
Mm-hmm.
Which Mio has a lot of judgment.
Yep.
And Zoe's like, dog, I was 6.
Yeah. It's like, just you wait till we get to Mio's story as a child.
Oh my gosh, for real. So you get to go through this fun little level playing as these little piggies. And at the end, the piggies get dropped into a grinder.
Mm-hmm.
And you come out on the other side, spit out onto a plate as 2 hot dogs. Yep. And yes, you get to control the hot dogs.
At a picnic. You get to grill yourself and...
Yeah, you gotta, like, grill yourself and, yeah, like, slather yourself in, like, mustard and ketchup and hop yourself into a bun. And that's how you finish the level.
Yep.
And they're, like, traumatized.
Yes. I was like, there are so many moments in this game that are absolutely hilarious, but also very traumatizing.
Oh my god.
That's related to Mio's little side story for her birthday celebration. You're like, oh, it's a cute little Candyland world. You get to play as Teeth. Bouncing around.
With little, like, toothpaste haircuts.
Yes, they're pretty cute. And you're like, oh, this is so fun. We get to bounce on different, like, candies, get to go across, like, chocolate. Oh, this is not gonna, get disturbing whatsoever. Oh, no, it does. Let's add a demented dentist.
Like, robotic, evil dentist at the very end who is, trying to do awful things, like drill you in half. And
yes.
Oh, and that boss fight was quite the fight too.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But then, like, the things that he's doing is, like, so dentist PTSD. Like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, I think we were both yelling at certain points. We were like, oh my gosh, this is creepy. Yeah. Like, oh gosh, no.
There was a lot of that. There was a whole lot of that going on. It's not a good time.
No. There were so many things like that. Oh, you know what another fun part was? When we went to that little, like, witchy village.
Oh, the cats.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the magic cats. Yeah, we got to go to a little, like, magic village, and they had this little magic, like, farmer's market thing going on. So you get to do all these silly things with potions and spells and just, like, nonsense after nonsense. Just not even mini games. Like, they're smaller than that. But we spent a lot of time just running around just the square there, just being ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I like the hats. And you could, like, you could put on, like, a colored witch's hat, and you dance, and, like, you make, like, you cause, like, colorful, like, flowers to sprout, and you can, like, doodle with yourself as really the character. Neat. That was really fun, yeah. It's very, like, Mario Party-ish at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get really crazy things where you're either playing as, like, a creature or a human-esque figurine, or you're, like, a ball or a pinball machine.
Oh god.
That one was wild.
Oh my god.
That was cool, but that one was also intense. It was like, hurry.
It was intense, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in every single level, like, each character gets a specific power or ability or whatever you want to call it, and each of you get something specific to you. There's no, like, duplication of powers anywhere, but you need both of the powers to get to where you're going, and sometimes they're very simple, and sometimes they are not. Sometimes they're out there. Like, one of the last levels, Chelsea was stuck in, like, a screen.
Yeah.
Like a TV screen. And I was running around on top of the screen, but I was, like, stomping down. And I could, like, affect the things that were happening in this little video game that she was stuck in. So, like, that was wild.
Yeah, that was crazy. And towards the end, there was also that unique abilities where we were able to, like, control spirits of some sort. And mine was able to create, like, platforms we could walk across, like, beams of light.
Via, like, light, yeah.
Yeah. And then you could, like, move those items. And so some of them are kind of creative. You have to think, a little bit outside the box about how to, like, maneuver around these areas.
That one did get us, yeah. That one had us, like, scratching our heads a few times.
But then you also have fun ones where we get to shapeshift into different animals.
That was a good level.
Yeah.
We got to shapeshift into several levels, into several different animals.
Yeah.
But also, we got to hatch dragons.
Yes.
And
super big highlight there.
We, like, raise the dragons, they get bigger.
We were dragon riders.
We were dragon riders. Every time they got bigger, like, it was like getting a new power, kind of. We could do something new with the new dragons. That was a good. I like that level a lot.
That was really great. And like that was like a world I wanted to stay in, where I was like, I wanted to hang out with my dragon more.
Just little babies.
Yeah, I mean, it could keep going on and on about the levels. There was so
every
many cool
single
things.
level and side story was something completely different. Like it just kept you on your toes the entire time. And there's secrets. There's tons of trophies, and we didn't even get like a little more than a third of them, maybe.
Yeah.
By the time we beat the game. So like there's still room to go and play and figure out like what we didn't do. I think there's a whole like secret level we never found.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So maybe we'll have to revisit it. I don't know.
But the story itself is also really good. These two strangers get to know each other, like why each of them prefers their specific genre over others. Lots of family stuff, like why are they the person that they are? And a lot of like trust and understanding along the way. They become besties at the end.
Yes.
In the great part, like, do we want to spoil the ending?
Sure. Maybe.
Okay. So at the end, they stop the bad guy. They stop the white man. It all works out in the end. But they write a book on their experience, like getting to do this, and they call it Split Fiction. And like the book is literally like the cover of the video game. It's like it makes you laugh at it a lot. But you know, and they finally both get published. They get published together. So
and they
very
each
sweet.
gain a friend. So yes,
they do.
Yeah. So it's a good friendship game.
It is a good friendship game. We need more games like that.
I know.
Maybe not like what is that? The one where you're cooking. It's more frustrating than like camaraderie.
So
I am blanking.
Overcooked?
Oh my gosh. It is Overcooked.
It is Overcooked.
It is Overcooked. Okay. It's Overcooked.
Yeah.
Whew, we got there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's almost more of like a party game type thing. Like this, like it brings you more along for like a story with these characters. Yeah.
You like grow together with them.
Yeah. Which I hope a lot of people have enjoyed this game and continue to enjoy this game. So if you have somebody to play with, please check this game out.
Well, and the great thing about this and It Takes Two is that you only have to buy one copy of the game.
Yes.
And then you just like invite your friend to play it with you. And that's it. Like that's it. You don't need 2 copies to play.
Yeah. So that makes it even more of an awesome gaming experience. So who knows what game they're going to come up with. I can't wait. I know.
I need to see what they're doing because it's wild.
Yes. But like we said, we'll say it again. Go play this game.
Go play Split Fiction.
It's a lot of fun. Yes. Especially if you are a fan of sci-fi and fantasy. Or just one or the other and find somebody else who will play as the other character.
Guess you don't need to like books or anything to enjoy this story, but it's a good story regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think on that note. Yes, that'll do it for this episode. Listeners, let us know if you have played this game and what your favorite level was. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure you follow or subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. You can follow along with us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube at Pod Demastered. You can send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. And once again, thanks so much for listening to this week's episode, and we hope you tune in to the next one. See ya.